The Warzone 2 trailer has just dropped, and in this video we're going to be going over what are the 6 loadouts you need to get started inside Warzone 2. Starting off with the first loadout now, and this is the one that I will 100% be using inside Warzone 2, is going to be the Lachmann-556 with a Luckman sub. This is a Luckman loadout. And I do think it's going to be super popular as well, just because the Lachmann-556 has super low recoil, and then the sub is basically one of the best SMGs, if not the best SMG in the game. I do just want to quickly point out one thing though. Do we all not think that snapshot grenades with drill charges are going to be absolutely broken inside Warzone 2? Think about snapshotting a building and then seeing someone camping in there and then throwing a drill charge through the wall. I think that's going to be absolutely insane. Let's talk about the Lachmann-556. Now, we're not going to mention nothing regarding attachment tuning. If you do know any tunes that make your gun like kind of perfect to your playstyle, then you can definitely do that. We just want to point out the best attachments because not everyone's got the guns maxed out just yet. Now, when it comes to the magazine, you do want to have a larger mag available for your Lachmann-556. So the 40 round mag will be decent, but I have a strong feeling because of the fire rate of this weapon, you will need the 60 round mag, in my personal opinion. Now, obviously, it is going to make your ADS very slow, so just kind of play around with that one as much as you please. Now, when it comes to the underbarrel attachments, we've done a bunch of testing on every underbarrel, and the best underbarrel grip is the Precision 40. Now, it does con your aim down sight time. We all know that. We've tested it in our previous videos. You can check that out if you want. But this is the best underbarrel grip for long range rifles. The Komodo Heavy, we've also done testing on this as well to see how much it helps with recoil, and it pretty much helps with horizontal recoil on every single weapon, and it does a fantastic job. So again, we're going to go with the Komodo Heavy in this case. Then we are using the Luckman Nova barrel, which is the best barrel for the Lachmann-556 assault rifle. So overall, best choice there. And then lastly, we are going with the VLK optic, not only for nostalgia purposes, but also because it is one of the cleaner optics to use. Moving on into the Luckman sub now, we don't want to put too many attachments on this gun because it'll make it feel really slow, and we do not want to do that. I, for one, want to have a really fast SMG that I can use to get in and out of buildings, get some easy kills, and then pretty much leave as soon as possible. And this is the gun that you want to be using. When it comes to the barrel, I am actually using the smaller barrel. This is the 226mm. It helps with movement speed and aim down sight time, but it says it cons your bullet velocity and recoil control. Now, it doesn't con your recoil all that much from the testing we've done. And then when it comes to bullet velocity, it's not too important on an SMG anyway, unless you fully run out of ammo on your assault rifle. So that will basically depend on how much ammo there is on the map of Al Mazrah. Then when it comes to the laser attachment, and this is one that I'm struggling to decide which one I prefer. Now, you do have the VLK 7mm, which I do think for aim down sight time helps out a ton, but I also do like the hipfire accuracy one as well, because I do think I hipfire quite a lot in this game, and that's because movement is a bit difficult to do, so you do find yourself hipfiring quite often. So just kind of play around with these two. Both are very solid options. 40 round mags are an absolute must. I don't really think you'll need the 50. I think it's going to slow you down too much. And then the shark fin underbarrel, we've done testing on this once again to show that the shark fin definitely helps that side to side recoil, but it doesn't give you any constant aim down sight time, so it's absolutely perfect. So before we get into our second loadout, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're trying to reach our goal of 50k, and also we're making tons of Warzone 2.0 content. Now, getting on into the KASTOV-762, I do really like this gun. I think it's a super solid assault rifle. Now, when it comes to the long range build on the KASTOV-762, very similar to what we had on the 556 Luckman. You want to use the Precision 40 underbarrel grip. Again, it is the best one. If you want to see the testing, like I said, you could do that. We are using what is essentially the Komodo Heavy muzzle. Once again, it helps with the horizontal recoil control, but in this case, it's called the LR8. Then for the barrel, we are using the initial barrel here, which helps with recoil control, damage range, bullet velocity, and it's the CAS 10 barrel. This is the best one, by the way. And then we've got the VLK optic once again. You do need the 40 round mags on there. I do think 30 rounds is not enough on this gun. Moving into the Vel46 now. This gun, very, very solid gun when it comes to using it as a kind of sniper support hybrid type weapon as well. But as just an SMG, this is the build that I would use. Shark fin, again, because it does not con your aim down sight, but it definitely helps that side to side bounce. The 7mm laser for the aim down sight time, or the ULO Both are very solid options. I actually prefer the ULO on the Vel46. When it comes to the stock, the demo stock is the best in my opinion. People are using the collapsed, but it cons your recoil way too much. And for a gun that doesn't have the fastest TTK at close range, you actually want to make sure you're landing all your shots. So that is why I prefer the demo in my opinion, but it's just to kind of compensate for the larger mags that we do actually have on here. I do think the 50 round mags is a must, especially for Warzone and that extra health. And then we are using the grip that helps with aim down, sight time, and sprint to fire speed. You can choose the recoil control one if you need it. Now with this class, we are using flash grenades and Semtexes. I just prefer Semtex in general, and then flash grenades right now are actually broken in this game, so highly recommend them. Next up, we have the M4 with the X13 auto pistol. Now when it comes to the M4, we do want to make sure we've got this on the list. The reason for that is because most people had this leveled up. Not to mention, it is actually a solid choice for long range. If you tried it out on Invasion or even Ground War, it performs super well, so definitely an easy choice here. So 60 round mag, you definitely need that. 45's a bit too small in my opinion. VLK optic, once again you could choose whatever optic you do prefer. In this case, we are using the high tower barrel. The high tower barrel is the best at controlling recoil and giving that bullet velocity. People are using like the carbine shroud and stuff like that, but they're not the best. The Komodo heavy, once again, because like I said, we've done the testing on this, it is the best one. And then the Precision 40, once again, we've done the testing on it because it's the best underbarrel. Now we're going to pair this with the X13 auto pistol, and I'm proud of this weapon because I actually really enjoy using it a lot. Solid choice, by the way. Impact point barrel, because it's going to give you the recoil control, but it basically turns this into a pocket SMG, which is absolutely what I'm looking for in this game. Then we are using the aim down sight speed laser because it does con your aim down sight time using this barrel on the gun. So obviously we're going to go for that. You can go for the hip fire as well if you really want to, but I think we do need the FJX in my opinion. We are using the 33 round mags. I don't think you'd really need the 50. It slows you down way too much. Now for underbarrels, we are choosing the Shark Fin 90 once again because it does give you that side-to-side control but without any cons, which is ideal. And then for the rear grip, for some reason it doesn't let me select it in the game for some reason, but it's the sprint to fire speed and the aim down sight speed rear grip you want to choose, but every time I try and select it, it doesn't do it for me. So that is the only con, I suppose, to using this rear grip. Next up, we've got a super solid class. Now I was torn between choosing the TAQ-V or the RPK, but I just went for the RPK for all the LMG lovers out there because I know there's a lot of you out there that do enjoy using LMGs, and I think this is the best one in the game in my opinion. Now a lot of people will be talking about the RAAL LMG, but I don't think it's the best, to be perfectly honest with you. This is the perfect hybrid of having an LMG that feels a bit like an AR and is still very usable. And in terms of TTKs and everything, it's absolutely solid. If you want to check out TTKs, we made a video on that as well with this gun. But when it comes to the build, it's very similar to the assault rifle build. The only difference is for barrels, we're not choosing anything here because there is this one that helps with bullet velocity, but actually cons your recoil control. So we don't want to choose that one. So we are just choosing high velocity instead. Now it does con your damage range, but damage range isn't like super important, especially when you're challenging plus like 50-60 meters anyway. You are going to basically be in the second damage drop off of this gun regardless. We are using the OLE laser to get that faster aim down sight time. It is an LMG, we do need to do that. VLK optic, once again, you can choose whatever optic you like. We are using the sprint to fire speed rear grip to give you a better aim down sight time once again. If you do want a bit more control in the weapon, then you can choose the heavy support stock. I just don't really recommend it because it does slow you down quite a bit. And then we are using the LR8 once again, which is enough to control the recoil of this gun. Absolutely solid LNG. I actually really enjoy using this gun. Obviously, I had to pair this with the Basilisk, or basically the new snake shot pistols from Modern Warfare 2. Obviously, we're using the Akimbo rear stock attachment. Then we are using the 7mm laser for the hip fire accuracy, essentially. It gives you faster sprint to fire as well. We are using the narrow barrel on this. It's going to give you the extra damage range that we need in the bullet velocity. It also helps with movement speed, which is ideal. But it's mainly for that damage range to make sure you are getting that two-shot kill as far as possible. And then we are using the faster trigger. Like I said, the HTA is the best option here. Then we are using the snake shot ammunition, which is obviously going to make it into those shotgun pistols, which is what we're looking for. The last two classes are our sniper classes, and we've got the MCPR 300 with the KASTOV-762. Now we've done testing on all the snipers, and this gun definitely has one of the faster bullet velocities in the game. Now when it comes to aim down sight time, it's not the best, so if you do want to check out that video, you can check it out. as well. But overall, this build is absolutely solid for this weapon. So you actually want to use the cheetah grip, which is a rear grip here. Now you can't see that behind the camera, but you can see it here. It gives you sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. Now you also want to use the Merc stock as well. Again, it's going to give you a faster aim down sight time. That is exactly what we're looking for to make this gun a bit more aggressive. And then we are using the OLE laser as well to give you that faster aim down sight time once again. So we're basically building towards aim down sight time besides the last two attachments, which we need to get the max possible bullet velocity out of this gun without conning the ADS too much. So obviously we're going to go for the OMX barrel, which is going to give you bullet velocity, damage range. It also says recoil control, but we all know that means recentering speed now because we basically tested this in game. And then also we are choosing high velocity. Now it does con your damage range, but again, like I said, if you are challenging plus 100 meters with a sniper anyway, you'll automatically be within that second damage range of this gun. So that is just something you need to keep in mind, and just aim for the head. Essentially, you'll get that one-shot headshot. But getting the bullet velocity is super important, especially on these larger maps now, and especially on the Battle Royale map. Now, I don't really recommend using a suppressor ever in this game, but if you do want to, you can remove the ammunition and then choose a suppressor. Again, we've made a whole video on which is the best suppressor in the game as well, but like I said, I think this is the better build. Now the 7.4U is basically the perfect sniper support in this game right now. You want to choose the 45 round mags. It's going to give you the extra capacity that you do need to use this gun at longer ranges. You want to use a Shark Fin 90. Now you can choose something like the Phase 3 grip. It's going to help a bit more with the control than just the Shark Fin 90. So it depends on what kind of ranges you are challenging at. Then you could definitely go for this one, or you can even choose the Precision 40 as well. Like I said, this is the best at controlling recoil, but this will con your aim down sight time way too much. So I recommend the Phase 3, or just stick with the Shark Fin. I personally would just go with the Shark Fin. And then when it comes to the laser, you definitely want to have the OLE laser on there to give you that faster aim down sight time. You could choose the McCr stock, or the McCr stock. I don't know how you say that. I think this is the best stock for this gun. It doesn't con your control too much, but it gives you the movement speed that you do need. And then the true TAQ grip for the sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. Now, you can remove this attachment and put on the muzzle there, which is the Komodo Heavy. So if you need the extra control, that is what I would recommend changing. So removing the true TAQ and then putting on the Komodo Heavy. Lastly, what's probably going to be our most popular class, and that is the aggressive sniper class, and that's why I saved it to the end. But we are using the SPR with the Vaznav, and with the SPR build is very similar to the MCPR. The only difference is we do need to make sure we put an optic on this one, because the marksman rifles do not come with an optic, unfortunately. But when it comes to the barrel here, you want to make sure you use the longest barrel to get the best possible bullet velocity, and that is the fluted barrel, the R67. Then we are using high velocity once again. We're not choosing a suppressor. I don't think you need it because the minimap's not working the same as Modern Warfare 2019. So even if you do fire a sniper shot, no one's going to see it on the minimap anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So you might as well choose high velocity here. OLE laser for the aim down sight time. We are using the XPX optic. Now, most of these optics con your aim down sight time the same amount. So it doesn't really matter which one you choose here. I just prefer this optic. You do get an extra 11 times toggle if you do need it. And then a 6x6 magnification is perfect for me. Also is a very clean optic as well. So, and then when it comes down to the last attachment, you just want to speed up the aim down sight time as much as we can with the aim assist 406 stock, or comb, whatever you want to call it. Lastly, moving on to the Vaznav now. This is probably the most aggressive sniper support weapon. It actually has a decent TTK pretty much across all ranges besides super long range, and that's why I do think it's a great sniper support, but it's more of an aggressive sniper support, unlike the 74U where that's more of a balanced sniper support, so you could actually use it at longer ranges. This one needs to be within that close to medium range distance. So again, we are choosing the Makarov stock. I do think is a solid choice. It doesn't con your recoil too much. We are using the true TAQ grip for the aim down sight speed and the sprint to fire speed. We're using the 45 round mags because the largest mags available. We do need that for Warzone. And then we are using the OLE laser here. You've got a free attachment slot similar to the MP5, but you don't really have to use it. In my opinion, it cons the aim down sight time too much, and there's not really any other attachment you can choose without any cons on it. If you do really want to fill it up though, the AVR compensator is pretty solid. Or you could choose an optic if you like to choose that instead, just to make a clearer sight picture, but just keep in mind both of those con your aim down sight time. So there we have it. Those are 6 loadouts that I think will work perfectly fine inside Warzone 2.0 when it drops in a couple of days time. Thank you very much for watching.